Hi guys, once again this is Alfred from BinaryOptionsTutor.com. In a little trade now, and this is a longer trade that I'll be in on Nadex. You can see I just got one contract here. Selling at 109.80. Here's a chart over here. We burst out. Well, for starters, today's been extremely down, and then we done a retracement, got back above the Kumo cloud here, but I'm thinking that was just a correction, and so I got in. And they pushed the number on me a little bit. I got in at 40 and a quarter. I saw it as high as 56. If it would have waited a little longer for that final push, but we seem to be coming down off of that 80, and I may end up just taking a scalp. And what I really wanted to point out though is that this bet that I'm in, I've got 3 hours and 22 minutes, because this is the bet that would expire at 7 Eastern, or it'll be like 6 o'clock uh, Central Time for me, because that's where I'm at. And the bet is that, can I find my way into profit somewhere inside of those next 3 hours, and 3 hours and something. So that's just another way to approach scalping, looking for those big moves and the corrections. Let's look at the chart. Big move, just totally overdone. Even the statistical area, and they'll usually put a lot of fear in the market. Somebody's going to come in there, get bold and buy into all of this selling pressure. Probably more institutional guys. That's why you see all of these darker areas on the volume. Is the institutional guys came in and bought up this market, but most retail guys, they've probably already been knocked out, or you know, uh, maybe not bold enough to jump in there. So that's really kind of some of the thought process to the bet. And this is, a Kumo cloud, and we may get back down into this cloud and maybe get back down even under the cloud. But again, a lots of times I'm not going to try. I rarely ever hold a bet till expiry, whether it's a long term or a short term. That's just me. That's my preference. Um, if I get for enough into profit, then I'll probably just let this one go. I usually don't trade around this particular expiry, but I saw a little retracement and thought I'd try it and tape it for you guys. I'll update this if anything happens. We'll take a look at it on the other side. So we'll see. Will I hold it? If we get for enough, is it something worth holding, or is it something maybe I can scalp and get out of really quick? I may just scalp it now. Let's see. Because I've only been in the bet a few minutes, you see. Why, if I'm making let's say $8, $10 in a few minutes, why bother hanging around? I'll free up this capital. I'm gonna go over to my IOC, and there we go. Same thing. The difference in that instance is that rather than doing the 5 minutes like I'm usually doing, I actually had 3 hours plus, because these are tradable, and there's liquidity on the Nadex platform. That's what's so good about this. Lots of times, if you're trading offshore, you can't, uh, you can put a bet on, but you can't actually trade the bet. So right there, I was able to go in, put up, oh, just under $60, and just get in and get out in that quick scalp. I was probably only in that bed about 10 or 15 minutes. I'd just been in it a couple of minutes when I started this tape, because I really didn't expect it to fill. I just put in a working order. It shot up here. It filled. That total time is like 20 minutes. There was $40 to be made in a bet, and rather than wait the remaining 3 hours and a half, I talked about this in another video, is just like weighing those scales and saying, hey, um, if you've if a quarter of the profit is gone in less than 1/10 of the time that you have left in the bet, why not just go ahead and scalp and take that profit right there? Take what the market gives you. That's just another uh, axiom that you hear floating around a lot, but there's an example right there. Now I don't really care what happens with the bet, if the bet wins, if the bet loses. Lots of times when you see those quick, fast reactions in your in your favor, sometimes they'll close up over time, because what you were seeing, the theory that I just gave you guys, that this is a correction here and that there's going to be a resumption of the downtrend, other guys will catch on to it in the next, maybe in the next 3 hours and something. The problem is that if you catch on by then, maybe the market's already moved even more in the downtrend, but you were waiting to be absolutely sure that there was the resumption. And the reality is you're never absolutely sure. I'm never absolutely sure. That's all I have for today, guys. Just a little quick scalping. This time the dailies, there was about let's call it 3 hours, 3 hours and 40 minutes, maybe 3 hours and a half. Let's say when I got in, I'd have to really check my notes, the emails back from Nadex, but I think about 3 hours and a half I was in. 3 hours and a half out from the expiry. I was probably in about let's call it about 15 minutes, because this is a new, there's a new 5 minute candle there, so we'll call it about 15 minutes. See you guys on the next video. Once again, like, share, comment, subscribe. If we've helped you, please help us by sharing this content with others. Hi guys, once again this is Alfred. I've decided to add a little bit to this video. Now the video that I guess is 5 or 6 hours in the making. Right now, it's like 7:30. It'll score like 8:30, 8:32 on Nadex, because they're on Eastern time. So the bet in the first part of this video is well over. I put an arrow here. You see we got that impulsive move up, that big push. I got in somewhere in this candle. It shot up against me, maybe about pushing me about $16 out of the money for that little one contract. And from the video, I got out about 10 minutes later here. Now in the preceding hours, we just kind of lollygagged along, not doing a lot. So all of this time in here was an opportunity for the counterparty to do something to counteract my trade. Now, because of the time of day, there's usually not a lot of volume. You see how we got that volume? We've got these dark areas here on Audacious volume, our indicator, available on our site for a small fee. But outside of that big plug there, we all of a sudden the bars start getting lighter. So this denotes to me that this is just regular expected volume, and they start getting even smaller, and we really see volume pull off. That's the way it is most of the time after the New York session closes. So not a lot to be gained by holding that trade other than time decay, and the trade will get more profitable due to time decay. But I chose to just take my quick scalp and leave. Now here's the exact candle for the expiry on Nadex. So yeah, the trade would have worked. In fact, we started to see a breakout and a push, a resumption of that downtrend that I talked about in the first half of the video. And you know, we almost got out of that Kumo cloud. We almost got back down there. Now we're starting to see a little push back up above the Kumo cloud. Just thought I'd share that. The what happened at the end of the trade, because it was such a long trade. I just didn't know any way to tape it. That was another reason that I just took a quick scalp and left. But again, scalping, even the longer term trades, which I could have stayed in for like 3 hours and a half, but I chose to leave somewhere between 12 and 15 minutes into the trade when it worked sharply in my favor. Even on those longer time frames, there are scalping opportunities available on Nadex. That's all I had, guys. Just a little something to add to the video, showing a little bit of how the price action paid out, and showing your options and trading binary options. Of course, if I would have held, I would have got the full 40, but that's okay. I'm scalping in this series. See you guys on the next video. Once again, this is Alfred from binaryoptionstutor.com.